I turned my attention back to the black piece of the lens, where the narrower third part met the larger section. I could almost, but not quite, get a hold of the tab when that side of the lens was facing up, but when I turned it to the side, the tab moved ever so slightly out of its position, allowing me to get a good grip on it as I slid it slowly out of the cylinder. The black tab was a small, three-sided frame holding two glass slides together firmly. I gripped the outer edges of the slides, and then the black tab piece came off easily, leaving me holding the slides separately. Suddenly feeling very warm, I carefully slid the glass back into the black bracket and then slid the whole thing back together into the lens cylinder. I wasn't just warm. I was hot. I was sweating. My heart was racing. My mouth felt like it was stuffed with cotton. I felt dizzy and nauseous. I knew this was real. Now. Ride it out. They were fighting. Again. He hated it. He was a lover, not a fighter. And usually so was Cliffy, but not today. Feeling tears start to burn his eyes, Davy threw up his hands in despair. "You are not listening to me. You do not ever listen to me. I don't know why I even bothered to share your bed with me. You can be such an asshole. Sometimes. No humor meant there. Asshole." Turning on his heel, Davy stormed out of the kitchen. "I'm taking Fur Baby out for a ride. I'm obviously not wanted or needed here." Ignoring Clippy's muted protests of, "Don't be an ass yourself. Come on back. Let's talk it out." Davy grabbed his scarf. He never drove anywhere without his scarf. And keys. Hit the switch to open the garage door and got the hell out of there. For a while. Not forever. Not this time. But for a while. He could care less if Cliffy knew where he went when he took off. Cliffy could take off any damn time he wanted to, couldn't he? Didn't he do that? Just that? Taking care of his mother's affairs, my ass, Davy thought. Well, what's fair for the goose? Although this time, Davy was just going to take a nice long drive. The need to get out, to get away, to be somewhere else doing something else, was just a mere whisper today. Davy knew it would soon increase to a roar that he simply could not ignore. But not today. Weaving his way carefully southwards through the twisted residential streets of the Houston suburb of Montrose, he picked up Highway 69, the name of which never failed to make him giggle, and headed west towards the 610. Glancing at the clear fuzzbuster mounted on the dash in front of him, he considered the huge expanse of empty concrete interstate stretching out into infinity before him, and hit the gas. The air was still just cool enough to make the wind whip tears from his eyes, now blending and indistinguishable from the tears of just a few moments ago. Glancing at the speedometer, he let the gas off when the needle just passed 100. No need to be drawing any attention he wasn't wanting. The air, redolent with the smells of water and spring and fertilizer, flashed past as fast as the scenes flying past the windows. The purr of Fur Baby. Yes, he knew it was a completely ignoble name for a Ferrari, but that was what he had named it, and that was that. This was just a gentle vibration running through him that always made him mildly aroused. Just no way you could set this low to the ground and be going this fast, with the gentle vibration making everything feel larger, fuller, and not be turned on. It really was his one true extravagance. The insurance alone was nearly equal to what profits the store made. He didn't care. It was that or his sanity. And in this one regard, at least, Cliffy was 100% supportive. Davy sniffed and downshifted, taking the right-hand exit into the 10, before making his gentle way back to the 69 and home. His sense of self was nearly fully restored. He knew exactly what he would say to Cliffy and exactly how he would say it. He would be soft, yet firm, like little Davy was right now. They would talk, and then they would kiss and make up, then have alarmingly amazing sex. Yes, he was definitely looking forward to that last part. Davy smiled to himself. Definitely much better now. Everything was going to be all right. Going downtown. I had to do a Google search to find out where the downtown Maine police station was, tucked away behind City Hall in the accompanying conglomerate of civic authority buildings. I counted myself fortunate that I didn't know the location from personal experience. Street parking downtown is a joke. There are never any spots anywhere near where you are actually doing business, and at 10 cents for every 5 minutes, sometimes it was cheaper and easier to take the bus and walk in. Unfortunately, I couldn't rely on a bus trip this time, so I scrounged for loose change in the usual places, couch cushions, jeans, jacket pockets, etc., and found 35 cents. That would have to do. Carefully placing the lens in one of my reusable grocery bags, I grabbed my purse and jacket and headed out the door. After circling the block for 3 times, I managed to snag a parking spot only a block from the police station. I fed my change in the meter and prayed that it wouldn't take too long to get this done. Walking quickly past a guy slouched at the bus stop, thinking of old sweat and urine, I ignored his muttered, "Spare change?" and made a beeline for the front entrance of the police station. I took a deep breath and opened the outer glass door. As I opened the inner glass doors, the miasma of Lysol, vomit, and unwashed armpits was nearly overwhelming. I tried to breathe shallowly through my mouth as I edged my way towards the information window. The noise was almost intolerable. Desk phones ringing, people talking over each other, voices raised to be heard above the din. "Can I help you?" The officer at the desk yelled at me through the glass partition, his eyes never moving from his monitor. "I hope so, Officer Farley?" I managed to get out as I glanced at his name tag, my mouth suddenly dry, my heart furiously pounding, hands instantly wet and shaking. He must have heard the break in my voice. Lifting his eyes from his screen, he glanced at me and then straightened up quickly. "Sorry, how can I help you today?" he said with a smile. Yes, hi. I could not think of what to say. I tried again. "Sorry about that. First time here," I muttered. He chuckled and replied, "That's probably a good thing." "Yep," I said, putting my grocery bag on the counter between us. He looked at it and glanced at me. "See, I think I have something here that might help with an investigation, the boy that was found in the quarry. Can I talk to the officer handling that?" I knew I sounded like an idiot. This wasn't at all what I had practiced to say. "I see," he answered, cocking his head to one side. He looked again at the bag on the counter. "Nothing hazardous or anything like that in there, right?" "Oh no," I exclaimed quickly. "Nothing like that at all, see?" And I pulled the handles away and down from the bag where the lens in its case was visible. We both peered into the bag, and I thought, how much? A wooden hat box and a bag. Looks like the exact definition of what a suspicious package would look like. I lifted my head and met his gaze with a wry smile and half shrug. It's just something that might help with the investigation. Maybe. Hopefully. I'm parked on the street. I have about 30 minutes on the meter. I said it all in one breath. "Why don't you come with me? You can bring whatever it is you've got there with you," he answered, lifting up the countertop for me to walk through. Oh God, I thought to myself, here we go. As I followed him through the main lobby area through the counter, he made a left through a doorway in the back, and I followed him along obediently behind him, wondering about how many different kinds of nasty germs I might be breathing.